Hey y'all, so today we are going to be adding shade cloth to the raised bed gardens. Here in North Texas, we are having triple digit temps and they are not stopping anytime soon. I'm literally in the 10-day forecast. So I'm going to be installing shade cloth to try to save my plants from baking. Literally, that's where we're at. As always, make sure you drop me a comment below. Let me know what is going on in your area regarding temps. Are you dealing with super hot temps like we are, 105, 106, all the way up to 108 degrees here? Or are you living in a mild climate that I can be super jealous of? Okay, so we've got the gardens going. I'm actually having some real good luck with some things. Dahlias, you guys have already heard how terrible my dahlias are doing, and that is still the case. Right here, not looking great. And then they're, in addition, the ones that were doing good are actually baking because it's so hot. But I am having a lot of luck with this new to me flower, which is called Winged Everlasting. Super sweet. Straw flowers are doing pretty good. The marigolds are getting baked. They're trying to hold on. I've got some new zinnias coming up. These are some golden ball chrysanthemums that are actually starting to go to bloom, but the leaves are bleached out because of the sun. Carnations are really struggling here. I'm going to be doing a nice trim back on those. Surprisingly, the stalk is holding on, so I'm hoping that that'll hold on longer and maybe I'll get a bloom cycle from them this fall. I have a lot of the cress coming out that I planted by seed. I've got more zinnias coming up. This right here is called Sugar Star Phlox, and it's supposed to be purple like this. It's right there. But because of the sun, it's literally bleached out to all white, which is insane. I will say that my Chinese forget-me-nots are doing pretty good, and they've been reseeding themselves, which I have high hopes that this will all return next year. So we're gonna start with this side, and then I do have some more shade cloth showing up tomorrow, and we'll go over to this side. Now I do have a lot of sunflowers coming up. These are all pro cuts that are looking pretty good. My Lysianthus are really starting to love the heat, and so they're doing really good and started coming up like crazy. Some finally at the lengths that I can actually trim them at. And then my snapdragons are struggling. They don't like the heat. Over here, this area is not awesome either. The white mignonette is just terrible. I just need to replace it with something else and move on. I will say corn is really starting to come along in this area. The basil is very happy and likes the heat as well. But yeah, so this area is going to end up getting covered. But I'm going to start over here. Everything's looking really pretty. I have a lot of sunflowers coming up over here too. These are all munchkins that are getting ready to bloom. Be nice. I need to get some water on these. But let me show you what I'm working with. So I ordered this from Amazon. So Kesfit 40% sunblock shade cloth. And I'm going to be installing it utilizing some T-post. It's good for summer shading, double seamed edges, lightweight, durable, water and air penetrability, which is good. And then this is a 10 foot by 20 foot. And I should be able to cover pretty much all of one garden with this piece. And then I ordered another piece that gets here tomorrow, and I should be able to cover this whole portion with that at that time as well. So I'm going to wait for my husband. We just got back from a baseball game. We're a hot, stinking mess, super sweaty. So I thought, let's go ahead and install the shade garden. So let's get started on that. Right about here. Sure. Let's just not go super deep. Okay. Yeah, just do a couple of taps, and then I'll go there. All right, maybe one more. Think that's strong enough? No, maybe a couple more. Keep going. Go for it. There, go one more. Okay. more? That's fine. Okay, so you think this is going to have to go up a little bit because this is 8 plus 8, right? Plus 4, which is what, 20? Okay, not this way. It's 20. Yeah, 21. That's 10 more. Watch out, sorry. Go for it. Yeah. One more. There you go.
Yes, no.
Right about. That's good. Here, let me have a zip tie, medium.
Wylie was sitting on the couch reviving thoughts.
Oh yeah, did he enjoy his time?
It was alright. He let me pet him when I came in. So.
Oh, that's nice. Here, point to you.
He spent a lot of time with him.
So, I'm going to have this a little bit of an overhang. Nervous for Katie's mom. She's okay.
Yeah, that's a bit brutal. It's like I made a fine choice.
They should have that first one. And now we don't even get to play that team unless we do this other team. Alright, that was pretty easy to install. Yeah. I mean, I could come and put this guy. And then I've got one more of those I can use too. Okay, and then I have another one of these coming tomorrow.
Okay.
So if we want, we can just go ahead and put the stakes in while we're out here.
Yeah, the zip tie and stuff.
Yeah?
Still water with me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What do you think?
Yeah. Totally.
All right, why don't you go grab a few more? We need 3 more.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a little time to look at what we have achieved and done. So this is not something that I do every summer. So just know that this summer is extreme. We are experiencing triple digit temps, and the prediction is that we're gonna have triple digit temps every day in July and a lot into August. So I will lose everything, y'all, if I don't do something. So each of these shade cloths, and you can see that they kind of have like woven end. They have grommet, and it's like a plastic lining. And each of these cost $25. So I spent $50 total. We already had these T-posts, and they're from when trees were installed. And then I utilized zip ties to hang everything. So this is not permanent. This is just to survive. Hopefully have some blooms survive throughout the summer so that potentially I have blooms come this fall. This will probably come down mid-September, depending on the temps, will be the ultimate goal. So I did on this one, I went all the way the length of this garden, all the way across. I ended up using a couple of these kind of decorative, you can see all the, we had sprinklers go off this morning. I used some of these decorative posts in the center to kind of raise the center up a little bit because it's so heavy. But yeah, so we've got this all set up, looks good. I did not put the T-post in really deep because we do have a sprinkler system and I don't want to mess them up. So we just put them in just enough to kind of hold it in place. And then I think that works really, really well on this one. We left a little flap on the side. Let me come over here so you can see better. A little flap on the side just because the sun comes at that angle. So it gives this side a little bit more protection, which I think is good. And then on this opposite side, and here comes the sun, of course. I'm out here early today. I've been forced to start getting up early just because of how rough the weather is. So we left this fold down the side because that is protecting all of these snapdragons over here. I did not cover this portion over here, sunflowers. These sunflowers will do great. These Lysianthus will probably do all right too. If I end up having any issues with the Lizzie, I can raise this flap out and bring it out some. Lysianthus actually needs to be trimmed and cut and brought in. It is starting to bloom like crazy, so pretty. So it needs to be cut so that it can start on some new ones. I think that's actually pulling the plant out because the bloom is so heavy. Interesting. So let me show you one other Lysianthus over here. It's a really soft blush tone. Look at these. Aren't those beautiful? I'll have to come out here and trim all these. I should make an arrangement with these for you guys to see. Okay, and the rest of the Lizzie are doing good. So anyway, I've got about half or 2/3 of this garden covered. Flap comes down and protects it because we have all of the hot afternoon sun comes this way. So bringing the shade cloth down like that protects all that. And then under here, I do have some of my basil and my corn, but it will still get a whole lot of light. I did put another post in the center to hold it up. The corn is coming along really nicely. But this should also help out some of the other ones, like my sweet rocket, pale lavender. I'm about to pull up all this white mignonette anyway. But looking really good. All my cardinal basil, I'm ready for it to start kind of blooming. This is a basil I actually grow for blooms. So that'll be interesting. This is my purple ruffles basil, looking gorgeous. But yeah, I'm feeling really good about it. Like I said, this is not something I would typically do, but hopefully this is something that will save a lot of these plants this summer. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's actually a day later because we were waiting on the extra shade cloth to get here. And so, but like I said, once again, this is not a typical thing. This is something that I'm trying out to hopefully save my garden because temperatures are so extreme in North Texas right now. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And literally plants are baking, like they're just baking in the sun. So this is a 40% shade cloth, to try to cut down a little bit on the amount of sun that they're getting because it's so intense and so, it's a lot. And so hopefully that'll help out, and I'll have blooms to show you guys this fall. As always, she's Mad Gardener or Decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.